worst in the game. He has a frame 4 air dodge. So having a frame 4 air dodge is very bad. That basically means that the opponent could be more lenient on their combos and you don't have an answer to get out of it, basically. And then although Bowser's recovery is it goes.
Wow. I don't know how many of those attempts are old. I feel like, yeah, there's no way it's that many. Plus whatever, like a couple 50 or so. Yeah. Hold on. There we go, 100. But it's finally done. This level is a fucking bitch, but also very fun at the same time. Like every part of this level was fun to learn and fun to play. But then once I kept on getting unlucky, I think I was probably at like 25 deaths at or past the mini ship part, like at 66, which I don't know how normal that is, but, and that was like, I think I was 4 deaths past that, 2 deaths to the last ship, 1 death to the last cube, 1 death, maybe it was only one death at the last ship, but there was 1 death at the last wave, 1 death at the last cube, the Mary Cube, 1 death at the last ball, 1 death at the last cube, and then 1 death at the last ship at least. Which is kind of what I was expecting. I was expecting at least 3 deaths at the end, but I wasn't expecting so many deaths at that mini ship. Like in those 30 attempts, I think I was already at like 3 deaths there. Like I was finally getting back my consistency, the level. But yeah, like the first 20% or so is like free pretty much, and then for some reason and then once you get to like the end of that first ball into the wave, that's like really the first main death point that I had, and even then it was getting consistent kind of once I warmed up. The other big death points were it's kind of hard to explain, but the ship right before like the fast wave section, like at 40 or something. Like, that's super tight, and I kept on dying to the saw blade, like, right at the top. And then, the wave was easy, but then the ship right after, even though I didn't have problems with it earlier, like, previous days, today I was just messing up all the time. So that was kind of a pain. And then the duel. The duel is what pissed me off the most about this level, because when I first started playing the level, and I first learned it, like, the duel is super easy, I could do it every time. No problem. And then once I got 97, then for some reason the duel just became the most inconsistent piece of any level I played almost. Like I just died to random parts about it. I spent probably over 1,000 attempts just only playing like the duel, like the cube duel, I should be more specific, to figure out what I was doing wrong. And like the only thing I could figure out is that I wasn't holding, like I was letting go of my click at like the worst time, so it wasn't immediately jumping. But even after I fixed that, like sometimes I would still just randomly die, and I don't know if it was something I was doing or, well, it had to be something I was doing, of course, but I don't know. It never got consistent again, which is really annoying because it was consistent when I first started playing the level, which doesn't make sense to me. The dual ball right afterward is pretty it's easy, but again, it's inconsistent. A little bit more consistent than Q once I kind of learned where to click. Though it did really suck sometimes when my green ball wouldn't be at the top after I did the 2 like blue spams. Because if the red ball's at top, that means I then had to change my click pattern to the mini ship to hold, and that's really tough. Like it's really, because if I didn't hold, I'd just go straight down. So I have to hold the level out. But then it's a really like weird like click to get out of transition. It happened a couple times from 0, and I pretty much immediately died, and it was a dead attempt. And it just kind of happened randomly. It wasn't like something consistent for me. Like it wouldn't be like, oh, if I did this specific thing, like the balls would be switched. Like I felt like I'd do the same thing twice and then, different results. After the mini ship, honestly though, like the level is extremely fun. Like, I don't have any problems with the end except for the last ship. Like the last ship's just really hard, like a really big choke point, just because of the nerves and stuff. Like it's not like super hard, but it's sometimes hard to like dodge because you have to have momentum going to the portal, which is kind of weird when you're going so fast. But I don't know, it's still a fun part to play. I mean, I thought before I started playing the level, my biggest problem with the level I thought was going to be the memory ball, but after just kind of grinding out attempts, I didn't even really learn it. I just kind of learned where the ball was supposed to be, and then now when I look at the memory ball, I only see like the actual path. It's kind of weird. I don't know how other people do memory parts, but yeah. Finally got to have this level beaten. Should have been beaten like 3 days ago, but I just kept on getting super unlucky with my consistency with the level. Literally praying 0 to 30 every attempt, and then either dying at the wave, at the ship, at the duel, at the mini ship, just constantly not barely even getting the mini ship at all. But when I did get there, I just kind of immediately died. But yeah, it's still extremely fun level. Just wish my luck would have been a little bit better so I didn't hate the level at the same time. But it's done. Let's go.